So that basically went from 60 billion to 30 billion. So you half that.
Isn't that
Like, just think about
that's the
that.
definition of like, isn't that fraud though? That's literally
Well,
fraud.
what is
'Cause,
fraud? I don't.
well,
What is fraud?
well, I
No,
mean, I think
what is fraud?
it's when you. That's a good question. I want to get the
The
it,
Google or the
yeah, let's get
Oxford
the.
definition?
Yeah,
What is
because
fraud?
I'm seeing it now. It's
Okay.
wrongful or criminal deception intended to result in financial or personal gain. So it's it's deception basically, and I guess one of the ways you kind of meds it is what you're saying is asset inflation. So they put out their statements, like JBG has already put out their statements, and one of the ways that we're seeing is asset inflation. So the division basically, well, I guess you can say you saw the numbers that's double. They dramatically overstated the value of the assets, which were like the chicken and inventories, maybe like feed and grain stockpiles and those kind of stuff, right? So it makes the assets look more valuable than they actually were. So there's that, and then you were talking about like in the first report that you just mentioned as well. You said expense management too and so on, but those are vague terms, and when you kind of meds it, like even the cost of sales looked like they were underestimated and underreported. So it might, so cost of sales is it's just how much, if I were to sell a chicken, how much does it cost for me to sell that chicken? Like, how much money does it take to maybe grow the chicken and pluck the feathers and kill it and all of those and package it and so on. Like, that's the cost. And then your revenue is how much cash you receive from selling that actual chicken. So if you're underestimating your cost of sales and so on, I mean, when you look, though, that cost of sales is under the income statement. And so if you are underestimating the cost of sales, because that's what they call, I think, cost manipulation, then it's supposed to look like you have more profits because but they really weren't. So instead of properly recording those costs on like the income statement, where they would have reduced profits, they're actually hidden. And they're actually hidden on the balance sheet. There's actually an article that said that a lot of them were actually just hidden on the balance sheet. This is a JBG Way's exit from U.S. meat business after $46 billion fraud. This was by Dashan Hendricks in the Jamaica Observer. So, I mean, all of what we are saying, guys, is just articles we're reading and so on. So, if you think it's
we'll get
a lot of
later.
what we're saying, and actual.
No, I was just saying, if you look at it, most of the articles are, well, some of them I guess are going from most of the articles. I don't think they're saying things like they're basically like, we're talking about Chinese telephone. So there's a source, and then you pass on the message, and then you pass on the message. If you look at it, I'll say most of the articles are getting their sources from the financials, or not directly quoting. Remember that there's the
this
thing,
one.
I'm saying,
this is what I'm saying is what
you're saying. Some of the parts are quoting.
And what I just said about the cost of sales manipulation, that's directly quoted from the CEO himself,
from the investor briefing, the Mayberry investor briefing.
Yeah, and he was saying, so and then
So I was just saying, the point was, sorry, I just want to finish the point. Always like check the source yourself. So I'll try to link the investor briefing and the financials. Check the source yourself. Don't just read the article. The article may have a headline and may make you want to scream out, think the world is ending, and then you actually read it and you're like, wait, it's not that bad. I'm not saying this is not that bad. I'm just saying, always do your own research.
Facts.
Sorry,
and if you
that's the end of the point.
Yeah, no worries. Click the link that I just sent you though, in this chat.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, but if you click that link, and I was talking about the hidden costs in the balance sheet, and then they said Levy explained, and it said the entire scheme just unraveled in a matter of 2 months. Every day you're just waiting for the next blow, the next blow, the next blow. Like sometimes I have to put myself in the CEO's shoes, because
DJ, I sweat.
like, as bad as this is, And don't get me wrong, it is bad. Like this is pretty bad because it's a public company. You have investors. You have to be you have to speak to and account for, and you have the trust of a nation, because this is the best dressed chicken. Like every Jamaican knows the best dressed chicken. Even people abroad know it. So it's bad. But I have to put myself in the CEO's shoes, and I'm like, yo, imagine I grow this company from scratch, right? Let's say
Mm-hmm.
him start the company and thing, or his family or so
Mm-hmm.
on, but he's been CEO. You're growing it and so on, and then one of your employees does this, and a whole division does
Or
this.
maybe not just one, and we don't know.
Yeah, it's not no G none. If you get what I'm saying. Yeah. If you know, you know. But yeah, it's not. It for me. That's like stabbing in the back, because you spend all your time and effort and years building
Mm-hmm.
this company up to what it is, only for it to be undermined like this. I can't even imagine what they're going through. But um, yeah,
Lots
like
of sleepless nights.
lots of sleep. And he said it right here. You're just waiting for the next blow. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's crazy because the U.S. business was growing, right? It was growing, but when you contrast that to the Jamaican operations, is really Jamaica carrying the company now. But yeah, there's some
Mm-hmm.
other things that I saw too in terms of like the different things within fraud that I'm seeing. So there's something called liability concealment. So debt to vendors and suppliers, they were actually hidden through unrecorded liabilities, and then understated vendor
What does
financing
that mean?
arrangements. So yeah, I go explain it.
Oh,
So basically, if Preston's a vendor, like let's say I own
you
a
said
chicken shop.
vendor.
Yeah, let's say I own a chicken shop,
Oh.
and
Mm-hmm.
you are but I'm selling. I own a cook shop, sorry, but I buy my chicken from you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You
Also, I'm broilers in the example.
Sure, why not?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I don't want to use that example though, but all right, let's use it, right? Y- You are I come to you to buy your products so that I can sell my product. So it's like raw material and so on. But what I'm doing is maybe, let's say I'm actually buying 10 chickens from you, but
Mm-hmm.
in reality, I'm just saying that I've bought 5 chickens from you. Like in my accounting and so on the books, I've only written
Mm-hmm.
that I've bought 5 chickens from you. But in reality, I bought 10 chickens. Or it should be the other way around still. But that's kind of what it is. Like you're not
We said other way
writing.
around, as in buying more chickens than you're saying.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
to kind of prop up the books. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just like you're not writing the exact amounts, and so
Mm-hmm.
it makes the company appear. Um, so for this, the liability concealment, it's like it's making the company appear less in debt than it actually is. So let's
Mm-hmm.
say they owe different people a bunch of money or so on, but they're
Mm-hmm.
not actually writing that that's the amount of money that they owe. They're writing that it's less. So that's what liability concealment is. And then in that article too, there was this
So it's
thing called.
almost like if I was, like, say I was a company and I wanted to lend money to you, I would
Mm-hmm,
do, like, say you want to get a credit card, you Thaon, you want to get a credit card. I can do an assessment, like a
mm-hmm,
credit report, and it would tell me, Thaon actually has a loan to JMMB of $1 million. He has that's an unsecured loan. Then he has a car loan of, say,
mm-hmm.
$2 million. So he owes $3 million and he doesn't have any credit cards. That's all the money he owes. And I'm
Yeah,
like, okay, he only owes $3 million. He's earning in a certain amount of money every month. I'd be willing to lend him $2 million, or maybe I'd be willing to lend him $1 million because he's already paying the $3 million. He's been paying it every week or every
mm-hmm.
month or whatever. I
And
don't feel scared at loaning him $1 million.
because I
It's
make
almost like
10 mil. I make
wow,
10 mil a
okay,
month
damn, bro. Okay,
a
it's
year.
balling.
Sorry.
Are we
No,
balling? We
but
balling?
you have to pay other things, but you have the loans and so on. So
Okay,
I,
okay,
I,
bro. Okay, bro.
it seems as if
You know,
I
get my game
only
up.
have $3 million in
Mm-hmm.
debt,
Yeah.
but in reality, I have
Mm-hmm.
$10 million in debt, and I'm just
Mm.
making 10 mil. You know, So
Or maybe you're making
yeah.
$1 million.
Or maybe I'm making no. Well, you wouldn't lend me if I'm making $1 million and I have 3
No,
million.
but no. What I'm saying is, suppose you submit a document that says
Yeah.
you're making 10 million, but you're actually making $1 million. That's basically this example that you're saying, right?
Well, it's a bit different because it's more liabilities. It's not revenue concealment, it's
Hmm.
liabilities concealment. So it's
Or
more debt.
loans.
Yeah, it's more loans. So
Mm-hmm.
it makes it look like I don't have that much debt. But in reality, I do have that much debt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of I actually have $10 million debt, but in reality, I
Mm-hmm.
have but what I'm telling you is that I only have $3 million debt. You get
Mm-hmm.
me?
So it's like
Um,
I seem a lot more safe
yeah,
than I
less
actually
risky.
am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying pretty sure anyone will feel very comfortable lending a guy who's on paper is worth $1 billion. Like you said, say you lend him $1 million, he's worth $1 billion. You're like, what is a mil to him? He's a billionaire. I'd feel fine lending him $1 million
Yeah,
versus, he's actually a chopper and he only is worth 10 grand. And you've just lent him
facts.
$1 million. You're not getting your money back, bro.
Yeah, real.
Yeah. Or yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a good example to kind of explain
Mm-hmm.
what's been going on. And I guess the reason I wanted to explain, like, remember we said that at the year it started at $40. Today we're recording it is $18.88. So that's basically $19. So
Mm-hmm.
it has basically halved. It's gone down by 50% since the beginning of the year.
Yeah, more than.
You know, yeah,
Yeah.
and I
And
think
it went
it's
as
it's
low
quite
as